Welcome back. I'm Marianne Leffel, your host. Monterey County open for business. Learn about your region, find out what's here. There's tons of stuff going on. We just all need to know about it. So stick with us, but this is our second interview of this session, and I think we've got something that's really, really exciting and somebody that I've just met, but I love the work that they have. So David Potigian, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Gallery Sur.
Yes.
Yes, and you're in Carmel.
Right. We're on 6th between Dolores and Lincoln.
Okay.
We've been in Carmel for 27 years, since 1990, and we've been on 6th for the past, since 2009.
So, good location.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Great
you buy
place to
the little
be.
Swiss.
Right. We're 3 doors to the left at the little
If you
Swiss
like
cafe.
pancakes,
Right.
go and then come on down and buy art, right?
Exactly. Right. And we're also catty corner from the Village Corner restaurant.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you've brought a piece to share, and it's fabulous. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So-
Yeah, we specialize in local landscape photography of the Monterey Peninsula, and the other aspect of our business is hand-carved stone sculpture from Zimbabwe. And this work has been brought into the Carmel area since about the mid-90s. We have been specializing in it for the last, since 2011 now, so a fair amount of years. And we have, our gallery is filled with it. All of the sculpture in the gallery is stone like this. And we have about 11 different sculptors. Our main, the main body of work comes from a family of sculptors. Their last name is Nyanhango. And this is by Moses Nyanhango, who he's one of our top sculptors. He and his sister Agnes, who are both second-generation sculptors, their father was a first-generation sculptor back in the late 50s and 60s that they both learned from, along with 5 of their other brothers and sisters. And so out of the family, there are 7 sculptors along with their father, and 4 of them are internationally recognized.
Well, it's an amazing piece. Just the work on it, and then the way the colors. I mean, what an eye they have.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting way to be able to create art, because they're starting with a solid boulder. So it's not just finding a piece of stone and whittling away at it like you might a piece of wood. This is actually unearthing a boulder that's been in the ground for thousands of years, and they then test it, tap it, check it, test other stones that may be broken around it, and see if that's right where they're. And they're all from specialized mines in various parts of the countries. They get different types of stone from different parts of the countries, and then they sometimes have something in mind. Other times the boulder itself, as they start to work, gives them inspiration based on what they see, feel, and they do feel things. They do feel the stone actually guiding them and speaking to them. And so their particular subjects and compositions and themes many times come out with a combination of what they've envisioned. Sometimes when they begin, they make a turn because the stone shows something else or has certain veins or coloration that takes them in a different direction.
Yeah, I'm not very artistic. I appreciate things like when I see something I like, I know I like
Yeah.
it, but I couldn't make something.
Sure.
And I would never be able to envision out of a piece of stone what a beautiful piece could come out of it. So.
Yeah. And to think what it took to bring it here. I mean, one thing is to create it in a place like Zimbabwe that is, is hot, is dry, is dusty, and they're working in their workshops, and then finishing a beautiful piece. But what it took to bring it here, first to be selected out of thousands that are made, but these special pieces selected, packaged properly, brought here without any damage, and then polished beautifully so that they're refinished here after all the packaging, and then put on a beautiful pedestal in our gallery, lit perfectly for the world to see. It's a big process.
And we can't talk price on this show,
Yeah.
but I would say to everybody that these are very reasonable. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to go. You have to go take a look at it because it's totally fascinating. So how did you find the artist, or how did you find the product?
One of my good friends, Braden Coolidge, who has been inspired by this work and bringing it here since the mid-90s, was working with another gallery that had closed a few years back, and they were looking for a new location. So we got together and decided it would be a nice fit.
Good.
And it worked out beautifully.
Lucky us.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, I had known about the work all the time and never had thought about it for the gallery, but it just worked out. We were ready for change, and it was just perfect for us.
Yeah. Well, I told you earlier when you unwrapped it, I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this.
Something
So
like
yeah,
it. Yeah. This is known as Shona sculpture.
S-H-O?
S-H-O-N-A.
Okay.
And the Shona is a tribe in Zimbabwe, and it is their language and their art is known as Shona.
And do they teach like small children? Or is it a It's a family that learns it?
Well, the Shona actually means house of stone.
Okay.
And Zimbabwe is blessed with a huge amount of stone that is worthy of sculpting. This stone is about the density of marble, so it's not easy to stone. They start usually with a soapstone to learn as young students, and then they will continue on into the harder stones. This is in the realm of marble, and so they do take on apprentices. They do take on various students from time to time, but mainly they're doing their own work. And the family has their own area where they do their sculpting, and some of them sculpt on their own. And then there are many other sculptors, which we also represent. We represent about 5 or 6 other sculptors outside the Nyanhango family that brings a great variety. And this year we're bringing on 3 new ones that are very modern, they're very pure in terms of form and geometry. They're not figurative at all. And it brings a very refreshing mix to the work that we've had. Most of it is always figurative, and that's generally what's inspired by the sculptors. In Zimbabwe, family, relationships, a lot of love, heart, and soul is in the inspiration of their work, as you can see here.
So David, how did you get in the gallery business?
Well, I was brought to Carmel on a field trip back in 2000. No, excuse me. This is 1990. Back I was in high school, junior high, I think, and it was a photography field trip, and I discovered Carmel then, and then several years later was brought here on my way through to Los Angeles, and we stopped over for the weekend, and I met some people, and eventually found myself here on the peninsula more often, and then eventually moved and realized this is where I was brought as a child, basically I was 13 years old, and as a young photographer, and so then started to work for the gallery back in 2003, and I beg your pardon, 1993. Okay. And then eventually bought the gallery in 2000, and have been doing that ever since. My love for the area is it makes it natural for our gallery because we specialize in dramatic, oversized, large format prints of Big Sur, Carmel, Pebble Beach, and
I've seen them, and they're beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, it really allows somebody to take home a piece of this area.
Yeah, and we have both representational as well as modern landscapes of the area. So there's some pieces that are far more painterly. In fact, most people wouldn't realize that they're actually photographs, but they are of our area, of the Big Sur coast. And then we have representational pieces that are, from what we see, unlike anything we've ever come across. So, and we always strive to keep that type of quality and look in the gallery.
I'm friends with a lot of the photographers around, and I am just in awe of what I see through a lens, and then what a professional photographer and an artist sees through the lens. I could shoot the same thing and it would have, you wouldn't even know it was the same place.
Right.
It's just crazy how someone has the ability to see it and just catch it just perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. That's all experience. It's experience, and experience gives us great perspective
Yeah.
in anything that we do.
A friend who will probably be on the show in another month or so said that he actually saw something and then he set up every day because he figured he could catch the light just right. And he set up every day to catch the light just through this little slit in a tree. And I mean, I wouldn't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
Nor would I. I wouldn't have seen it in the first place. And secondly, I wouldn't have the patience for it even if I had. But he just doggedly went for it. And the photo is just amazing. But yeah.
I'm a photographer as well. And sometimes you do wait a long time for an image, or you return back many times and reshoot and keep working it over years. Many times it's not like that at all. It's actually a fleeting moment, and it becomes something that you capture that you never can capture again. I have several photographs like that were just moments in time that they became some of my strongest pieces. It's just a few photographs.
You know, was it life imitates art? But we've all seen, I think, depictions of the heavens opening and that sort of thing, and you kind of grow up with it when you're a kid, and you're like, yeah. And then I remember one time, Hal and I were driving down Highway 5, and we were driving, and it was at sunrise, and all of a sudden the sky was this amazing sky, and seriously, it was probably not more than a minute, but it was like, wow, that is the photo that, I mean, that's it, and that's what I've always seen when I was a kid, thinking somebody just made it up, but somebody actually did see it somewhere along the line.
Yeah, a lot of our images, people say, because now they know that there's so much, people are aware and can see more of the digital processes that take place in post-production. People think, when they see everything, they're questioning everything now, and that can't be real, and it is real. And it may have, everything is fine-tuned. That's just part of art in general. Nothing is just slapped on a canvas or printed on a paper. There's always fine-tuning to that. However, how many times I tell my clients, have you seen something and said, my God, that's amazing, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before in my life. And how many times do we get to see, how many sunsets do we actually see? And are we in that same place where we can get that perspective?
Well, how nice someone captures it and we can share it.
That's what it's about.
Yes.
To share it, enjoy, and let it continue to inspire. And that's really, for me, that's what art is all about. The art in our gallery is, one of the common denominators is it is a source of inspiration, positive inspiration. Brings life, energy, freshness into a room. It's not just an expression of what anyone wants to express. That's fine. For me, it requires a good positive energy. Otherwise, it's not something that I would represent.
That's good.
Yeah.
Where do your clients come from? All over the world? Are there several local collectors?
A little, but most of our local collectors are actually people who live all over the world, as we know. So, I'd say the Silicon Valley and Bay Area, that's about a good 35% of our clients, and of course our beloved Texans always come in the summertime and continue to come through. We have a lot of people in the Central Valleys that come through, and then the rest is between, I'd say, Southern California and East Coast.
That makes sense.
Yeah, very small amount is actually European.
Well, they're big pieces.
Yeah.
So to ship them also is probably a little bit of an exercise.
Yeah. Right. True.
But it's it's amazing. How do you you're working in the gallery, but
right.
Are you able to find good qualified help to
Absolutely.
work with you?
Oh my gosh. Rahana Losciavo is, well, like my dear friend and like a sister to me, and we have been working together now since 2011. She came along with the sculpture. She worked with the gallery for about 16, 17 years before it actually came to Gallery Sur. So her background with Shona Sculpture is really unparalleled to very few, if anyone, in the world, I would say. Next to, I'd say, our agent, Braden, in terms of the world of displaying, curating, and selling. There may be other experts in the world of Shona sculpture, but in terms of being able to sell for that long, I don't think so.
Okay.
We work together beautifully. She's our director.
And what kind of hours are you open?
We're open from 11 to 6, 7 days a week.
Okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
And do you find a lot of people like come in early and then go and look around and come back and then...
Yeah, sure. And that's usually how most people buy art. They usually want to come see it a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know, it catches their eye, and they're not usually that impulsive in the beginning, especially with art. And then they'll come back that day later on, or the following day, or they'll call or email us and go on the website. But that's typically how it works. It's a process.
Yeah, I think I bought a piece one time and I felt like the guy thought I was stalking his gallery, but I had to go back and make sure it was like what I wanted for the space I wanted it. And
yeah, that's very natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes time. It's very personal. It's not bought like you buy a couch. It's, it's something you buy like you buy maybe jewelry or something that's very personal to you.
Yeah, you have to look at it and make sure it's for you.
Right, right. In all ranges, both in the way it fits, as well as the price range and the way you feel about it.
So, what size range are these?
They go anywhere from 8 inches up to, we have some that are 48 inches to 50 inches tall.
Okay.
Yeah, they can weigh anywhere from 15, 20 pounds up to 300, 350 pounds.
Okay.
We have special delivery people that deliver them all over the world. Art delivery services that hand deliver them or crate them and send them all over the world.
Good. You want to give everybody your website and a way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, our gallery is Gallery Sur, and the website is www.gallerysur.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 11 to 6 on 6th and Dolores.
Right, and also
Carmel.
Exactly. We have our main show every year. Our annual show is coming up this August. So on the 27th of August, we will have a demonstration where Moses and his sister Agnes will be demonstrating in the park in Carmel, Devendorf Park, from 11 to 3.
Okay.
And while that's happening, we have the reception in the gallery displaying over 40 new sculptures that will be coming through. So we have one of the most dynamic collections this year that we've ever seen. There's more than 100 pieces coming our way on crates.
Okay. Well, that's my 51st wedding anniversary, so we may come and spend it with you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Or come a few days before. We'll have the display up as well.
We like that.
Great.
Okay. You have just seen Gallery Sur and this beautiful work. So don't go away. We'll be back in a minute. This is Monterey County, and Monterey County is open for business. Thank you.